The next big thing is the one that makes the last big thing usable, said Blake Ross, the co-founder of Mozilla Firefox. A very good morning to one and all. We are Team FesTech, a group of eccentric entrepreneurs with our idea Swift. So before we begin, we would like to take a moment and say that until a few months ago, we were just a startup in a million. But right now, even as we stand on this stage, we have become one in a million. And for that, we would like to thank TiE Grad and Sir, Mr. Bhanu Prakash, sir, and a special thanks to Sriram Iyer, sir, for mentoring and guiding us thoroughly over these few weeks. So let's get started. In this fast-moving generation, all of us want perfection in every little single thing, right? Then, how are we missing out on the dining experience? The food and beverage industry, which holds about 10% of our GDP. And that's the sector which we are going to address. So, what made us focus on this problem? So, the first one, there's a supply and demand mismatch during peak hours. That is, there are restaurants which have tables available. People want to visit the restaurant, but they don't have any space during peak hours. And then we have the loss of sales. On the other side of the coin, there are restaurants who are incurring heavy losses due to bad marketing or heavy competition, etc. The third one is order mismatch. This might not seem like a big thing, but it happens a lot in big restaurants and in peak times. And the last one is there is no ease of ordering. It's been decades and we are still using the same generic thing, and I think it's time to revolutionize. So, how is this problem being addressed right now? Well, during peak hours, we have captain supervision, or in some cases, we have the restaurant owner themselves trying to manage the situation. And for taking the orders, we have the generic kitchen order ticket system where the captain comes and takes the order. So, how are we validating these problems? Well, according to PwC and the Indian Brand Equity Federation, we have found out that there is no insight into competition, and there is a lot of loss of sales, and there is no peak time rush management. We observed this also in the show Kitchen Nightmares by Gordon Ramsay. So let us have a look at our product, right? So when the customer enters the restaurant, he can scan the QR code from his smartphone, and the web application opens up the landing page along with the details and where they have to enter their details. He can choose the menu, the items from the menu, and he can check out from the cart. Once the order has been placed, the kitchen screen will have the color-coded menu on the display. So once the order has been placed, the customer can track the order. He can see how much time is left for the food to arrive, so that he can't just look at the captains and see when his delicious food is going to arrive. So after that, he can make his payment through to the API. So this is the bill generation for the admin panel. So what is our product roadmap? On launch, we are going to have an ease of access and peak time pricing. After 6 months, we are going to have procurement services. After 9 months, we have multiple food joint integration, followed by 12 months where we are going to launch a hybrid application for customers. So why would you want to adopt our solution? Well, the first thing is we have a simplified ordering process, and then we have additional revenue generation. Many restaurants are missing out on this revenue every single day, and they don't even know about this. Using machine learning and artificial intelligence, we are providing personalized combos for customers. That is, when a customer visits the restaurant regularly, he will get a discount on the dishes he might be interested in ordering. And we also provide consultation services for the restaurateurs so that they can revamp or remodify their menu to suit the customer's interests. So how do the price variations occur? As you can see, the orange line is the cost price and the yellow line is the selling price. So during peak time, the selling price can be increased to the dotted line which can show a substantial increase in the profits. Similarly, when there is a loss occurring, the selling price can be reduced to a lesser value. So instead of having less to zero profits, they can have a guaranteed profit. For future plans, we have procurement services. That is, the cost price of the dishes can be reduced substantially by taking the ingredients required from chosen and verified places which offer food for free, for discount. So the market will be explained by my colleague.
Thank you, Kaustubh. So, coming to the market, we got two different types of sectors. One is organized and the other is unorganized sector. According to Business Insider, their market caps are ranging at 2.93 lakh crores for unorganized, and for organized, it's at 2.04 lakh crores. And our complete focus is on organized market, which consists of restaurants and hotels, and our prime focus, our prime targets will be 3-star and above restaurants, along with hotels which are 4-star and above. So, coming to the revenue potential, if you just acquire a 0.2% of the organized market cap, that would fetch us around 408 crores. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a huge amount we're talking. Coming to the business model, how exactly are we going to make the revenue? We would charge 7% of the revenue sharing from the end users at peak time pricing period and 12% for future end users. And along with that, as we have said that, we will be providing consultation services which include procurement services and computational insights. So, if you go to the unit economics, consider that during the peak time, an object is priced at 150 rupees while the actual selling price is at 100 rupees. So 7%, if you're charging for that, we would be getting 3.5 rupees per order. And of course, unit becomes volumes. So for an instance, as I've already explained the unit pricing, so we would be achieving 3.5 rupees per order. So we can expect at a 100-seater restaurant, for half an hour, we can expect 100 orders. And the peak hours would be 4 hours at weekdays and for 6 hours at weekends. So that would fetch us around 22,000 rupees per week. And for 52 weeks, we would be having 11 lakhs in our hand as a revenue. And if you consider, if you are acquiring just 5 clients within a year, having 3 100-seater restaurants and 2 200-seater restaurants, we would be having 81 lakhs in our hand. Coming to go-to-market plan, we'll make sure that each and every of our clients will provide free Wi-Fi to the end users who will be visiting the restaurants. Of course, even the data plans are very cheap right now in India. Everyone loves a freebie. And we are planning to go for radio spots along with radio interviews, which is one of the best marketing strategy for advertising right now. And coming to our legit competition, these are the 3 competitors which are having right now. But all of this, Swift is an only application. We believe that is providing a convenient and a foolproof solution. How are we different from all these people? We are different. The thing which makes us stand out from all the other competitors is the dynamic pricing, which my teammate has already acknowledged about peak time pricing and the downscale pricing. Along with that, we will be providing an easy ordering solution for the end users. Along with that, using machine learning algorithms, we will be providing competition insights for our clients. Strategy to beat a competition, we are making technology as a competitive advantage, and our technology is already patent pending. We are already in talks with rights and marks. And entry barriers. The entry barriers for our technology is very low until and unless we file a patent. And after we filing the patent, it will be very hard to reach for other people to replicate our technology. Let's talk about the tractions. For the quarter 1, we are planning to land 5 customers, which would generate a revenue around 20 lakhs. And for the whole year, if we acquire around 30 clients, we would generate a revenue around 2 crores 73 lakhs, an approximate amount. And coming to channels, we will be following very similar, very beautiful strategies to attract our customers. We would be having a food truck events and along with celebrity endorsements where we display or prototype our product so that people will get used to it. Along with that, we will be approaching the radio spots for the advertising. And this is my beautiful team, a young talented team. And these are our advisory board, Mr. Sriram Iyer and Mr. Jayant Kulkarni, who's a vice principal of our college. And coming to financials, as I've already acknowledged in the tractions, these are the quarterly projections for the next, after the launching of our product. And this is the revenue generation roadmap. After the launching of product, after 6 months, we will be acquiring 10 clients. After that, Once we reach the revenue, then we will start providing consulting services after a year. Then we will be planning to expand it to Mumbai, then other major cities later on. And ask in evaluation, we require a seed fund of 3.5 crores to make this happen. And these are the requirements in front of you, which are the primary requirements and the cost estimates. And use of the remaining funds, we will definitely invest the remaining funds in increase in expenditure of the marketing, so which will help us acquire clients and file more patents. Thank you. Judges, shall we have a live demonstration of our product? It's done, Surya. It's done.
Can I throw a question to save time in parallel?
Yeah, sure, sir.
So your killer app assumption is variable pricing, is that right?
Yes, sir.
How have you tested the consumer's response to that? What gives you the confidence that enough consumers will bite into that and not just reject it?
So the dynamic pricing doesn't mean that we would just increase like 50% of the 60% of the product value. We would just increase the search till like 10% or 15% on the price. So according to our survey, people got no problem at the time of peak hour. Like when there's a peak hours time, people they can't go into the restaurant because of the full-scale people sitting at the restaurant. So at the peak time, people are really they're really happy to just pay the price for the increased price.
No, so let's assume I'm sitting on the table and I want to reject the premium pricing. Will you ask me to get up and go because somebody else is willing to pay that price?
No, sir. He can't have an option of rejection, sir, because as the menu will be dynamically changed, he can't even know the value of the previous thing until and unless he's a regular customer. But still, as it's a peak time hours, he need to do that, sir, because there are several companies who are doing it at the name of search pricing. Even we thought, why can't we implement the same dynamic concept in these things?
Yeah, so my question is, how have you tested that assumption?
So we not yet tested, but we took some surveys, sir, and there were, of course, some negative shades in that, but most of the people were, they were willing to pay the price. Like if the surge is like between like 10 to 15%, they were happy to pay the price.
Okay.
If the product is worth it.
Yeah. You'll need to check the regulatory aspects also, by the way, because
yes,
the
sir.
taxes and everything else.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how easy it is, but it's an interesting thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you also saying that you'll replace the manpower in the restaurant?
Yes, of course, sir. Because of this, the captains will be eliminated. No, sir. We can eliminate the captains using this.
Okay, what about the people who serve? Obviously, you need people who come and serve food.
Sir, the serving, we can't eliminate those people, sir. Because considered a 10-table restaurant, and there would be definitely like 6 or 7 waiters over there, and we definitely can't eliminate them, sir. Because they were the ones who serve the people personally, and captains are the one who just take the orders and go away after that.
Okay.
So even with this thing, as the ease of ordering increases, one cannot, he shouldn't wait for one to take and come up his order. Like, so that's a prime advantage of an application.
A number of large chains already have this in some form or the other. They have tablets at the table where you can order stuff like that. So that could be a competition.
Yeah, yes, sir. So those are the ones I listed over in my presentation, sir. Like Captain Pad and DG Dine, these are the things which are competition to us.
What do you think is the biggest assumption that you guys are making?
I'm sorry.
Biggest assumption.
We can go into
biggest assumption is that dynamic pricing will work, right?
Yes, sir.
So every assumption, just like any assumption in a lab, needs to be tested in the market.
Yes, sir.
How do you plan to do that, which is what Sanjay was asking? I think you guys missed.
Yeah, so like first thing, we did our literature survey. That gave us a result like 80% of the people are ready to pay 10 to 15%.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I totally get the literature survey, the survey groups and focus groups and all that. Yeah. But you actually have to be out there making people pay for it. That's the only way to test it.
Yes.
Now, one small word of advice.
Sir.
What people, and this goes generally in life, not just in your business, but generally in life. What people say they will do, ultimately is very different from what they end up doing.
Yeah,
What people say they will spend money on is ultimately very different from what they end up spending money on.
yes,
So
sir.
you have got to make people pay for it to prove your assumptions.
Yes, sir. We got already marketing strategies designed for that, sir. So, like the food truck events with celebrity endorsements.